Leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Who's chasing the beer that circle the lips? Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives Live from my basement in Belmore, Long Island, next to my Greek neighbors, next to my dirty laundry. So it's week, I don't know what, of being here, doing this from home and not being in the studio with Bobby. We have a wonderful, as my grandmother used to say, a lovely co-host tonight. Eric Mitchell is here. Hello, Eric.
Hey, how you doing? It's like 2 times in 1 week. Like, weren't we just live yesterday together?
I know. We were live. I was on Eric's show yesterday. He has a national, very organized show, and I told him throw all of that out the window. Bobby keeps me together. If it wasn't for Bobby, I'd be a mess here. Eric, where are you broadcasting from? Where are you?
I'm in not sunny, not lovely Portland, Oregon, home of everything evil and protesty like. So
is there a lot of protests going on in Portland? A lot of them?
We always have protests, but that's the West Coast. We just love the protest thing. So.
Right. Get out there and protest, and we'll figure out a reason after we get out there.
I don't know why. I mean, half the time they do it. And I mean, most of the time they're peaceful. I'll give them that, especially the cops they have now. But we also are home of these Antifa guys and these hate groups that are around. So it's a fine line mess around here. I mean, it's a beautiful here. The downfall is 9 months out of the year it's raining. It's June 9th. It's 58 degrees outside, rainy and windy. So
keep the protesters at a minimum.
No, God, no. They still come out. They just dress.
Come out. You know, Eric, before I get into anything further, and shame on me, I didn't write it down. We have a military man here. Tell us your background.
You're once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yes.
I was a United States Marine. So I served in the infantry from 94 to 01. Was an infantry guy and loved every bit of it. Got into law enforcement, blew my knee out chasing bad guys, and I didn't want to do that anymore, so I got into media. It doesn't make very much sense how they align, but now I get to be a voice for veterans and first responders, and I've always kind of had a passion for that. It's easy because I look at first responders just like I look at my veteran brothers. We're brothers and sisters in arms. We're raising our right hand and taking an oath. A lot of people aren't doing it. When everybody else is running away,
right,
we're always the ones running towards. So,
well, you've been a big supporter of Laughter Saves Lives. You had me on your show 3 times already, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. So, where were you a police officer?
I was in Sacramento, California.
Sacramento, California. All right, good. I'm glad I didn't forget that, because then Butch would have been yelling at me after the show. You didn't mention it, and then I would have been in big trouble. I didn't shave again. And the reason I do that is because it just makes Butch crazy. Crazy.
Well, he got mad at me when I shaved, so.
Yeah. So now a few things I want to say up front. Our sponsors will be showing some commercials during the show, worth a shot events. The Fire News is now on board. Fire News is a big fire department paper in the tri-state area. They're going to be running a story on us. We're going to be running an ad in the paper. We're going to be doing some regular stuff. They're looking for some COVID stories of first responders who may have passed away or whatever, to do some stories on these people. So if you have somebody you'd like to highlight and get a story done in the Fire News, let us know. MCM Duct Cleaning has always been a big supporter of us, Lifevac, and Barish and McGeary, who's helped so many firefighters after 9/11 and continue to do that. Very, very long-time comedian Jeff Fat Rat Bastard Perini passed away last week. Jeff everybody loved Jeff. Not only a funny guy, he did burlesque at the Borgata every week. He did a show there. We're going to miss him in the comedy community, so prayers to his family. I got the date, Eric. Mark it on your calendar. Bobby, mark it on your calendar. We're going to be doing something special. July 26th, I will be on Match Game with Alec Baldwin. Match Game.
Look at you.
Please watch. I made an ass of myself. It'll really be worth watching because, they tell you, Eric, to go crazy when they turn you around in the seats and go crazy when you win. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not making an ass of myself on national TV. And they had all these people in the room and they were riling all us all up. And I'm like, it's not happening. As soon as that desk turned around, screaming and yelling. Had a lot of fun. I'm not going to tell you how much I won, but I'll loan you a few bucks after the show's over. So that's match game. We're doing a comics forum. What do you think about this, Eric? Thursday, I'm having a bunch of comics. I'm having a forum on the old Zoom Facebook Live because I'm so addicted to it now. I have to think of 3 things to do every week. And I would like your opinion on this. I'm having comics call in. And again, I stay away from the political. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear a politician's name. I want to hear what the comics think we should be doing as comics in the comedy community in the follow-up of what's going on with the protests and the virus. Should we be doing anything differently? Should we be more sensitive to certain issues? Should we not? From a comics point of view, you're sitting in an audience. What do you think from an audience point of view? Do you think we should be doing anything different? What do you think?
I think absolutely. I think comics should. Why not? Laughter is a form of, it's proven. Even in PTSD studies, laughter does. No matter what the humor, we have to laugh at ourselves. We have to smile. There's humor that can come around. I see a lot of goofy things. I've seen one thing is protesters, spell check is not required with your signs. That's for dang sure. Right? Nobody's spell checking this stuff. So right. If you're going to go out, it's not hard. There's not a lot of big words. Don't use big words. If you don't know how to spell them.
That's me. That's me. That's funny you bring that up because on match game, after round 1, if you're tied, you have to write your answer. And there's a camera and I'm a terrible speller. And there's a point in the game where I thought I was going to tie the opponent. And I'm panicking because all I'm thinking is I will never hear the end of this from firefighters, from my family, from comics. If I spelt asparagus wrong, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's kind of funny. But what I was asking is a different question. What I was asking you is, do you think me as a comic, when I get back on stage again in a month, in 6 weeks, should I be more sensitive to the issues? Should I be doing anything different, or should I just go up there and let it fly like before, make people laugh, no matter what the topic I'm covering?
I've never known comedy to be censored, right? If you think of the greats, when have we ever censored anything? Robin Williams, George Carlin, come on, the 7 deadly words that you're never supposed to say on TV that you can now almost say all of them on TV.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, why? Comedy's the one thing that's never. Obviously, there's certain topics that are taboo. We've learned that with some of the greats. Louis C.K. and others have suffered through some of their bad routines. But why stop?
Louis C.K. Tell me if I'm wrong. It wasn't his comedy that hurt him. He was doing on the side.
Yeah, and then he made jokes about it when he got back on. But Chappelle, Robin Williams, the greats, they never have censored themselves. Talking about what's going on and making jokes of it's what we've always done. Look at Late Night. Did Carson censor himself? No. They talk about the topics even when they're tough.
Yeah. I don't. But with Carson and I love Carson. But they never really crossed the line back then. The line has moved since then. And I watch all the late night comics. I'm a clean comic, but I sit back and I hire dirty comics for some of my shows. And when I say dirty, and I laugh, it's just on me. But it doesn't mean I don't enjoy what they do. But I'm just wondering if there's a new line of jokes or stuff that they always say too soon. Is it too soon to do something? And that's another issue. I'm talking about in general. What can we do as a comedy community to support what's going on?
I think talking about it and not making light of it, but come on, you've got to be able to. We've got to have some sense of normalcy in the world, and we shouldn't have to worry about. Obviously, anything presidential is always easy to go after. If that's what isn't, where is that line now in the sand? We've had to change our rules about everything, but comedy is one of those things. We depend on comedy. Chappelle hasn't changed his. he's damn well keeping his going, and he crosses every line. He doesn't care.
Right.
Rogan, I mean, Joe's always the first guy to like, oh, there's a line in the sand. Hold on, let me hop over that with a rake behind me. I mean, you look at anybody. I mean, look at little Jimmy Norton. He's the same way. He doesn't care. So I mean, keep the comedy going because good, even bad PR is good PR. If anybody doesn't like it, I mean,
that's the forum that I'm going to have on Thursday. I'm going to have a bunch of comics calling in and giving their opinion, and seeing what we can do. Maybe it's not on stage. Maybe it's something off stage. Facebook. I read a lot. When I go to Facebook, I want to get information and I want to laugh. I want to see maybe some family pictures. There's so much crap with politics on Facebook and stuff that stresses me out. But do we have a new responsibility as comics? Because we have followers, it's not the average person. We have followers to make people laugh on Facebook instead of dragging them down with a stressful issue and getting people angry with politics. Should we continue the laughter on Facebook?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you precursor it with what you're discussing, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, not to say how great my show is, but I finished my show today talking about that. Like, I basically looked at the camera and gave an apology for anything, just so people know where I'm coming from, so I don't look like a hypocrite while I'm talking about it. I'm going to joke about things and say things, right. And I think that's all you have to do, so people know where you're coming from. Isn't that you're like, ha ha, I don't care. It's more like I'm going to laugh because it makes it. The world's full of so much negative. I mean, half of my friends are turning off social. They just can't go on. There's no happiness on there. Everybody's got an opinion. So,
and that's why when I'm on Facebook, most times I'm doing something to make people smile, laugh, or feel good. I have a following. Just when people follow me because what I do with my grandson. I do these little cute, fun things with my grandson, and people go on and or these little, I call them Johnny plugs. It's 30 to 45 seconds, something cute and funny, just to make people laugh. And I enjoy doing that. And I have a decent following of people who enjoy that. I want to change the topic a second. Sports. We're going to talk a little bit about sports. I never watch. Can I ask Eric how old you are?
I am 44 years old.
Okay, so I'm 61. I'm a bit older than you. I watched the 1986 Mets. Game 3, I think it was Game 3 when the ball went. Was it Game 3 or 4? When the ball went through Mookie Wilson's legs. No, when he went through Buckner's legs.
Buckner's legs, yeah.
And that's all I watched the whole game. I don't remember ever watching. What an exciting game! Oh my God! I didn't think I'd enjoy watching an old game. I was sitting there going, "Who's gonna win?" Like I really enjoyed it. But I did something Sunday with my dad that I've never done. We were watching the first Muhammad Ali Joe Frazier fight. Now, have you seen these fights?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I wasn't a big boxing fan. I watched Ali, knew Ali, whatever. Oh my God, what a boxer Joe Frazier was! Okay. What an animal! What a tiger! I think he was a better boxer than Ali because Ali, even though he was faster and Ali did a lot of crap, rope-a-dope, the thing behind the head. Frazier just went at him, and every time Ali gave him a good shot, Frazier came out like an animal. I couldn't have enjoyed boxing more. I watched all 3 fights back to back to back. So if somebody out there is kind of a sports fan and kind of boxing, but not really, watch those fights. Am I right?
Yeah. There's a great documentary actually on HBO on Ali. But he talks a lot. They're interviewing Ali back in the day, talking about him and Frazier before Parkinson's really took away a lot of, Muhammad's communication. What he talked about Frazier, he totally admired Frazier, loved fighting him, gave him a bunch of kudos. But it's cool to watch those fights because
they hated each other.
Oh my God, just the smack talk alone, just the way Ali did it with for me, obviously I wasn't even around for these fights, but watching them as a sports fan. I'm not even into boxing. It's not my thing. But watching that makes you get into it. The last time I watched a fight was Tyson fighting. Right. It's the last time I really gave 2 craps about boxing. It was just because you never know what you're going to get with Tyson. And
you may see him again, right? You may see him again. Isn't he going to fight?
Shape. Jesus.
Isn't he going to fight?
He says he is.
I was watching a workout. It was only a few seconds, but oh my God, he got punched still.
Mike's got nothing but time on his hands, and he just boxing his little sweetheart ass off. And
in fact, I'm watching it because I'll be getting in the ring soon, right?
You are. That's what I keep hearing. We're going to get you fighting.
What do you keep hearing? You're stirring the pot.
Of course I am. I mean, it happened on my show. So, I mean, we've got to keep this going. I mean, this is an event I'm all behind. I mean,
it's going to be nasty. It's not going to end good.
No, but it's going to be funny. It's going to be entertaining.
If we raise a few dollars and I'm unconscious for a day or two, what's the difference?
I don't think she's going to knock you out.
Oh, I think she can knock me out if she wants.
Oh, I know she can. Right now, Lisa's probably watching like, oh, really? And now I'll end up in the ring. And I don't want that.
What do you do? What do you do other than your show? You have a little. You're into sports, right?
Well, I have my own. My wife and I, we have a agency that we work with athletes and big celebrities and help them with me. We basically an agent. That's the easiest way to put it.
Are you allowed to name any of the celebrities or not?
What was that?
Are you allowed to name any of them?
I can name. Yeah, we work with a lot of pro athletes. So like Dennis Rodman is one. We work with Charlie Sheen. They're kind of doing their own thing.
Well, you named two real interesting ones there.
I did, right? I love it when people talk about Rodman because he's such a character, but people don't understand. He went through recovery. I love him because he shares that story. We have a funny story. We actually put him on Tucker Carlson's show, and I'm not a fan of Tucker, and this isn't going to be political, but we put Tucker on. Tucker asked him to come on to talk about his recovery, right? Because I mean, if you watch the Jordan Last Dance, any of those episodes that covered Dennis, Dennis took 3 days off.
I saw that.
From the regular season, and he went to Vegas. Now, mind you, here it is. We're in the 90s. Could you imagine in 2020, player takes a couple games off. Not only does he go to Vegas, he goes to Vegas and he comes rolling out with a do-rag on, a beer in his hand, hops on a Harley, and drives down the Vegas Strip with a police escort while he's holding the beer, drinking it, and driving. I mean, Dennis's stories are great, but he goes on Tucker a few months ago, and Tucker just I've never seen Dennis angry until we were there. And Tucker's kind of he is a jerk. And he
that's
was
what
just
he looks like. That's what he looks like when I watch the show. He looks like.
I mean, I love John Oliver goes after him. I mean, I think John Oliver's hilarious, and John Oliver goes after him every Sunday. It's like, it's great because I'm like, yep, that's accurate of Tucker. He's kind of that guy who's just. I don't know, but Dennis, he's great. He has a lot of fun. I mean, our athletes, we work with a lot of guys. We got
that's interesting. That's really interesting.
Players, and
maybe we can get one or two on our show. We'll see.
I'd love to get. We have one we wrap, and she's kind of infamous. And I always tell people she's my bad day. If you think you have a bad day, she had the bad day for a young person. She was 18. Her mom was a Playboy playmate. They were reality stars on E! Entertainment. She got hooked on drugs, went out with friends, and in a week's time, they robbed Orlando Bloom's house, Lindsay Lohan's house, Paris Hilton's house, and everybody snitched on her because she was a celebrity gal, right? So instead of going to prison for 9 years, she had to go she got rehab. But she's part of the Bling Bling crew. So her bad day, Sofia Coppola made a movie.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's out. I mean, but literally it was played at the Cannes Film Festival in front of all these people. So her bad day became a movie. And I forget the little gal, Emma Watson, who was in Harry Potter, played her. And we always laugh when we talk. So she'd be fun. She's hilarious because now
good.
She's like my bad day. She's like, look at my bad day. You think you had a bad day? Until somebody makes a movie about your epic bad day, you don't win.
All right. Do we have Lauren in the room, Bobby?
We have somebody in there. Let's go to a break and then.
Let's do our commercial and then we'll come back.
All right.
Hi, I'm Michael Barish, managing partner of Barish, McGarry, Salzman, and Penson. We are honored to represent over 11,000 people in the 9/11 community. The people who work at my law firm can really relate to what the 9/11 community is going through because they're going through it too.
So my dad's name was Billy Gormley, and he was a fireman on 9/11.
My father also was a firefighter, and he did report down there as well on 9/11.
My dad, Alan, worked on the 104th floor of the second tower. He was an IT technician.
My father was a fire inspector.
My husband, his name is David Velez. He was a detective with the NYPD, and if I can help anybody that is going through exactly what I have gone through for the last 17, 18 years and make their life just a little bit better, then you know what? I love coming to work every single day.
You know, this is a genuine office. Like, people are really sincere.
The best part of my job is the clients. Every once in a while you'll hear in their voice how grateful they are for the work that we do.
We take this personally, and we will not rest unless we help everybody we can before this victim compensation fund ends in 2 years. And we will be fighting to get this thing extended past 2020 because cancer isn't going to stop afflicting the 9/11 community.
We're back. Laughter Saves Lives live from my basement in Belmore, next to my Greek neighbors. We have Eric Mitchell, who is co-hosting from Portland, from To The Point. And we have the head of the FDNY, president, FDNY EMS union. Do we say union, Oren?
Yeah.
Oren, pronounce your last name.
Barzaliy.
Thank you. I almost hurt myself there.
No problem. It's all right.
So welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate being here tonight.
I know we had a hard time with you last week trying to get you on, and I apologize for that, and I appreciate you coming back this week. So thank you. I want to start off by saying, wow, what an awesome job your department has done the last few months. Being a retired fireman and knowing the difficulty of your job on a regular basis, talking to a bunch of the EMS guys out there, and you guys stepped it up 20 notches. So thank you for what your guys did out there.
Oh, I appreciate that. You know, it's been a challenge, not just for our city, but for the entire nation.
Yeah.
During these past few months, and I'm glad that we were able to come together as a nation and save countless of lives. You know.
Yes, you did. I'm going to let Eric. Do you want to ask it first? Because I've been talking a lot. You want to ask a question to Oren, or I can start off. I mean, but
you can start off. I love listening to you talk. It's my favorite thing to do.
There's the person. Did you guys hear that, honey?
No, nobody heard.
That's my daughter. Eric says he likes listening to me talk.
Nobody agrees.
That's why we save you for last on the show. You haven't figured that out, do we? We wait for you to come in with all the jokes and the comedy. Everybody else comes in with the seriousness, just like we did yesterday, right?
Yeah.
It was all serious. You come in and you and I start laughing and playing grab ass. I've got all the comments like, you two have too much fun.
I'm sure Oren can use a few laughs after the last few months.
Oh.
In fact, we are going to do, I think we agreed already that when this settles down, we're going to do a benefit and raise some money for a charity at the EMS guys support. I'm excited. The Laughter Saves Lives Heroes Tour. We'll do that show, and we will have one of your guys in the show, Oren. Do you know Jack Clunan?
The name Clunan sounds familiar. Brooklyn?
I don't know. I think he's Queens. Let me tell you a little bit about Jack. Jack is a new EMS guy in the last year. Jack is a comic. He started doing some comedy. And when Jack was a young child, had numerous transplants. I think liver, organs, cancer, all his teeth fell out. He went through hell. He went through hell as a kid. And a few years ago, he goes, I want to be, he was in a commercial. He did something for you guys, a commercial or whatever. And he got on the top this year.
Yes.
You know, what a year to pick.
Yes, he's in Queens.
Yeah, good kid.
I know who we're talking about now.
Great kid. So tell us, give us one or two of the stories out there about your guys that will inspire us. Let's start there. Is there anything that you could tell us about one or two of you guys in general? Let's start there.
You know, our men and women, you know, they're dedicated. They love what they do. I don't know if you've been following the news for the past year, but we've been in a battle, if you want to call it that, with the city about our pay.
Yes,
it's horrible. You know, it's just $1 more an hour over the minimum wage, so it's struggling. You know,
that is crazy. Can you tell me what their annual salary is when they get on a job without overtime?
$35,000.
So it's $35,000 first year, and what are the gradients to top pay, and what is top pay?
Top pay is $50,000 for EMTs. So I mean, you can't survive in a city like ours.
No,
on that kind of salary.
And very difficult to work the side job when you're working. They work 5 days a week, correct?
5 days a week, yes.
Yeah, it's not like a fireman. We can work 24 and work a side job, and we're making more than the EMS. And I don't think that's right. I think you guys have, in my eyes, a tougher job. Two of you guys are going in a building, maybe an apartment building, by themselves, no weapons, no axes, no Halligans. Who knows what to expect? I mean,
right.
Amazing work. They do amazing work.
That's the argument. That's the argument we've been making with the city, that we have an invisible bullet. For years, we've been saying that. We don't know the diseases we come across with or in contact with. So,
that's right.
And everybody, even now, the city council is supporting our cause. So
good.
The mayor is the only one who's not in support of it. So
he's not. He doesn't support a raise. Any kind of raise at all.
No, I mean, he says, I don't know if you saw our campaign that we did, that his basic response was that EMS is different. That we don't really deserve those kind of salaries compared to other first responders, which launched a national campaign where EMS firefighters across the nation are standing behind us, saying that that's ridiculous,
Well, every firefighter I talk to stands behind you.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you're there for us. You're there for us too.
Yeah, we're there for each other. I mean, we work hand in hand. That's the ironic thing about it. We work together.
Yes.
How do you guys not rate a raise when you're the epicenter of one of the deadliest pandemics of our time? You don't rate a raise? I mean, you've got more people more density than anybody else in our country. Yeah, It just makes me sick. You guys do an amazing job. You just no respect anywhere you go. Your mayor is a joke when it comes to first responders. I mean, you guys are out there risking your lives around. You don't even know. You said it best. You don't even know what diseases people have besides corona or anything else. And you can't get a raise? I mean, $50,000?
Hey, Oren, how many of your guys were out sick with the virus?
Altogether, it was 1,400.
Percentage of the job. What is that?
So it wasn't all. They weren't to get like in one shot. 1,400.
Right. But still,
at
a 1,400 out of how many?
4,000.
Okay, so a third of your
almost a third, yeah.
Third of your job had it, and at any one time, what was the highest amount of the guys out? What percentage of the job at any one?
23% EMS rate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do the guys get overtime, Oren? Do they get a decent amount of overtime?
Yeah, we get overtime, but
gotta work it. Yeah.
You should be able to provide the basic necessities without killing yourself. You can't even find a one-bedroom apartment for less than $1,500 in our city these days.
Where does EMS have to live?
We don't have residency requirements, so that's I guess you can say it's a good thing. But you may be, even though you're saving on traveling to a cheaper city, let's say, but you still, your expense of commuting now adds to it. So it's a no-win situation.
With us, the residency, we can work 24 and have off for 3 days. Even if you guys can live, say, cheaper upstate, you still got to come down every day. So that really doesn't help that much. We can live anywhere. Yeah, but we got to work 5 days a week as opposed to a fireman who may work 2 days a week, 2 24s, and have off for 3 or 4 days. So,
right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You guys got to commute? Oh, that sucks.
They got to work 5 days a week.
Oh, and you don't really get a raise for that. Oh, my God. I mean, you guys almost make less than the military makes, and we barely get paid. We get
some people, when you tell them $50,000, they think it's a lot of money. It's not a lot of money.
Not a lot of money.
Really, I mean,
not a lot of money, and especially for what you do. I think those are the two toughest city jobs.
Yeah.
Is EMS and a prison guys. The what do you call them? What's the term I'm looking for?
Oh, those guys are rough. Yeah.
Or what am
Corrections?
I looking for? Corrections.
Corrections officer. Yeah.
I have a neighbor who's a
And,
corrections officer, and a lot of those guys were sick. A lot of them.
I don't know if you saw the news about the new legislation that they're putting on them now.
What's that?
The 50A, which they can disclose all the records on police officers, firefighters.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
So,
So, can you give us an upbeat story about EMS, though? Can you give us anything that's something that you say, "Wow, this is what I saw out there," or "This is what's going on"? Something, a good story.
there's a good feel story almost every day, not just for us, for police, firefighters, everybody. They like to, the press, I'm not trying to take a shot at the press, but the media likes to show a lot of negativity.
Yeah.
But in reality, there's more good out there than there's bad.
Yes.
We're all doing God's work. We're all saving lives. We're all extending our well-being to save others. And it's a shame of what we're seeing developing in our country. But, our members, even though they're sacrificing themselves, they enjoy saving lives. They enjoy interacting with the public. They enjoy going to strangers' homes, not knowing what they're walking into, and taking a chance on saving a life. That's what it's all about. That's what humanity is all about.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't have taken the job. They have to love what
I
they do.
wish I had something specific to give.
They have to
I'm
look
sorry?
what they do, because for that kind of money, you got people who are doing God's work.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when you watch these TV shows, I sound like the typical, like I was never a fireman. When you watch these TV shows like 911, sometimes they'll visit the patient that they saved or something. Does that go on a lot with these guys? I mean, I guess they could go back to the hospital on another call. Do they follow up a lot of the guys? Is that allowed? Is that something that's done?
So, we do have patients that have kept contact with our members. Are you there or did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay. We do have, there was one story that sticks out in my mind. We had a member who delivered a child.
Right.
And she became her godmother, our EMT.
That's nice. See, that's what I was looking for. I've seen a few of those on the news, where years later they come back, they saved it. That's nice. That's nice.
And this past year, she went to her graduation. We're talking 20 years now. She's been in touch with the family.
That's awesome.
So, we have, a few stories where we become connected to the public and we become friends. We become
Hey, listen.
Somehow related,
Yeah, we got to wrap it up because we have another guest, but I don't want to toot my own horn, but there is a neighbor of mine who had a heart attack. His daughter came running down, banging on my door. He was having a heart attack. And I went to my neighbor's house, who was a physician's assistant, and I knocked on her. Hey, such and such is having a heart attack. We went up there, and I don't know if we saved the guy's life. We did CPR. He came out of it, and the whole bit. It's so uncomfortable when he's outside his house passing by, because it's like every day he's like, "Oh, how you doing?" Like, you feel like, okay, it was nice. That's what I was supposed to do. Like, it's nice. It's nice, but it's kind of funny. Like everybody's like, "Hey, let me get you there." Now you don't have to get anything, So, thanks for coming on. I hope some of you guys watch this because I think they're awesome. Laughter Saves Lives Foundation wants to do something for a charity you guys support. We did a show in Staten Island a number of years ago for one of you guys with 9/11 cancer. I
don't know if you know Gary Smiley.
Yes, of course I know Gary.
Yeah, Gary always promotes you guys. He does whatever he can to bring you guys out.
Oh, that's nice because we're paying Gary to do that. We gave Gary a few bucks to do that, so I'm glad he's still promoting. Tell Gary.
Okay.
Tell Gary we said hello. And Oren, thanks so much for taking the time.
Absolutely. Anytime you need me, I'm here.
All right, brother. Be well.
Okay, you too, guys. Be safe.
Bye-bye. And I was really, really proud. Laughter Saves Lives with our fundraiser that we did. We donated some masks to the FDNY EMS. So that was pretty cool that they needed them and we were able to supply them. Let's go to our 2 commercials and then we'll come back with Danielle.
Every once in a while, I come across a product I have to tell people about. LifeVac is one of them. Now, each year, 5,000 people choke to death. LifeVac can stop these senseless tragedies. It's so easy to use. You simply place, push, and pull. You'll never regret having a LifeVac. Please visit lifevac.net today to protect you and your loved ones.
Jack, put your phone away. We're having dinner.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing? What can I get you?
You guys want appetizers?
For some reason, I just got a craving for smoked meat.
Well, you ordered something already. The menu hasn't changed. You looked at it 3 times.
I don't know what I want yet.
I wanted chicken, but I think it's blackened, so I'll have a burger.
How'd you like that cooked?
Medium.
Do you have any specials?
Specials? Boss, what are specials?
What's the matter? You don't know the specials?
Look at this smoke.
What smoke?
We gotta get these dumps clean.
Nah, they're fine.
You know what? We're just gonna take our order to go, okay?
In business since 2003, MCN duct cleaning is the result of many years of research and continuing education, realizing the need to provide a safer and cleaner environment for families on Long Island. MCN services both residential and commercial properties by cleaning dryer vents, fireplaces, HVAC systems, and so much more. This not only improves air quality, but it could also reduce your energy bills by making things run more efficiently. So, if you want to make your house or business safer and cut down on your bills in the process, give our friend Matt over at MCN a call now.
Is that steak well done?
Maybe call a little bit sooner than these guys did.
And we're back. Laughter Saves Lives with Eric Mitchell. Eric, again, thanks for joining us tonight. And the very lovely and sweet Danielle. Danielle, pronounce your last name because you have so many last names.
Lieblein. Pagoulatos-Lieblein. Yeah.
Danielle Lieblein. Danielle is a nursing home warrior, which we need. And she's a director of nutrition at a facility in Long Island that has a lot of seniors. What do we call the facility? It's not a nursing home, right?
Well, it's a rehab center and a nursing home. So we have both.
Okay, rehab center and nursing home. In fact, and this is what we're going to talk to Danielle about a little bit. Before, we don't want her to get in. She's a tiger. She is a tiger. And if you had a relative who was in a home and you wanted somebody to stand up for them, this is the chick. She is really passionate about what we do, and that's what she does, and that's why we love her. She actually helped me with one of our fundraisers too. Came out on her night off and sold raffles, which was very sweet. So Danielle, my aunt is in a rehab facility in Forest Hills. My Aunt Terry, who is in her 90s.
Mm-hmm.
My dad used to visit her every day, and now I have to get a stool for him to look through the window as he talks to her through the glass. And she enjoys the visits, but it's tough. Now, you've been dealing with this through the whole COVID scene.
Yeah. So am I allowed to be myself, or do I have to be nice like you told me to be nice?
No.
Can I just be me?
I'm pausing. Yes, we love you. You can.
Okay.
Oh, I go red again. See how I get red when you said that? I'm like, she's gonna be her. Yes, you can be you.
Okay, because this topic.
Try not to cuss.
Okay, I won't. I promise. Well,
all right.
I'll try not to.
But let me just finish.
I'll try not to.
I promise I try not to.
Do us a favor. Try to take a breath. So if Eric and I want to interject a little bit, but This has been going on for months where people in these facilities have not been allowed to have visitors, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, in your opinion, since you're in the middle of this, was that a good policy from the start to protect them and protect the families? And is it time for that to end? Go.
Okay, so yes, it absolutely was the best policy because we did not know what we were dealing with. So not only did we not allow visitors, we didn't allow food into our building. We didn't allow any doctor who didn't need to absolutely be there, like a podiatrist doesn't absolutely need to be there. So we stopped all those kind of services. We also, like I said, we stopped food from coming in. We didn't let any of that. And we had the residents stay. Residents are what we call patients in nursing homes. They're called residents. The residents actually had to stay on their units. They weren't even allowed to come off their units.
When you say their unit, we're talking about their floor?
Yes. And some of them even weren't even allowed, and they still had to be 6 feet apart.
Right.
So it was very difficult for them, and they started to feel very isolated because they weren't allowed to move around the building anymore. They couldn't go outside. They couldn't. All their activities were gone. They were no longer had group activities. Therapeutic recreation is a huge part of being in rehab and nursing homes. They are the ones that give the residents joy. That was not happening. We weren't allowed.
As you know, Laughter Saves Lives does a comedy show once a month at St. Albans Veterans Hospital, which is mostly seniors, some World War II vets. We haven't seen them in months, and I'm constantly calling them like, what can we do? They have such an antiquated system there that I wanted to do online Zoom shows for them because they have a system that goes into their room from the rec room. You know you know what they can play in the system? VCR tapes. And I said, can we get somebody in there? I'll pay for it to fix it so we can hook up to the computer. And so we haven't seen these guys in months. They're just now taking them.
Horrible.
It is.
It's horrible because, they were isolated, and we did it, and it was all done for their good. 100% it was done for their good. But you also remember that while they were isolated, we had to wear PPE, right? So we had on face masks, not one, but we had on the N95.
And who wants to cover that face?
A lot of people, but thank you, Don. We had shields on our faces. We had jackets on us. We were totally covered. So now these residents, especially the dementia ones, are now isolated, and we're coming in like aliens.
Yeah.
It was scary. So difficult for them. And I got to tell you, I'm sure speaking with 2 masks on is not easy. People can't hear you.
I'm deaf. I'm deaf in this ear. And I go into the supermarket or whatever, and I'm, what? Say it again. So I can imagine what's going over there. Eric, do you want to ask Danielle a question because she took a breath?
No, I'm just grateful for her. I mean, just like anybody who's able to be on the front lines and be with these folks while they're by themselves. I mean, their families can't visit. Looking through glass like your family members in the zoo is just,
I feel I feel that that's what's going on. So what happened was we did that, and the governor let all these people come back to the nursing home with COVID, which would have been fine if we were prepared for it, but we weren't, because if you have a 320-bed facility, you might only have 2 people on isolation at a time.
Right.
But now the whole building, we need PPE for everybody. That's 400 employees. That's, 3 shifts every single day. Nobody was ready for that.
Yeah.
So now these people are coming back, and we're like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do with them? And then we have to make room changes. And now we're taking these elderly people and moving them to different units because they can't cohort with each other. They're scared, they're afraid, and they can't talk to their family.
And they can't talk to their family, which would make them feel better.
Right. I mean, yes, they could talk on the phone, but the hearing on a lot of them, not so good.
No. So where are you now?
Thrive on person-to-person contact. A phone doesn't do that when you're.
We all do. We all do. And we're lucky enough that we can go out, even with a mask on. We can still see people. I go walk on the boardwalk. I'm keeping my distance, but I'm still seeing people. And I'm still, hey, how you doing? Because I say hello to everybody. Hey, how are you?
We know.
And people keep running away, But so where are we now at your facility?
So I don't know if you also know this. So we all had to be tested for our antibodies, all the workers.
Right.
The governor said we all have to be tested. So
Right.
people who were positive no longer, then they said the people who were positive didn't have to be tested with the nose swab. But then he came back and said, no, you know what, whether you're positive or negative, 2 times a week, you guys are going to be tested with a nose swab. So now the whole building's been tested. All our residents have been tested. And we're not allowed to accept any COVID positive patients into the nursing home now. So when I tell you there's very little COVID in the buildings, I mean very little.
Where did
Very,
they
very
go?
little.
Where did they go? If they were in the building, they had COVID, you sent them out to a hospital. Where did they go?
Hospital.
Where
And
did
they're
they
still in
go?
the hospital. They don't come back until they're negative.
Oh, okay. So they stay in
But-
the hospital.
Right. But we could also send them to like a separate wing in our nursing home where we take care of just them, where they're not, they're with nobody else, just other COVID patients.
Okay.
But we don't really have COVID patients in the nursing homes anymore. So here's my thing. My thing is that the residents do get maybe once a week, they get to sit in front of a glass and see their loved ones. It's sort of a problem for me because I don't want to get political, but we do have protesters going on now, and there's people gathering for funerals and protests, and all that is fine. But then why can't we also have people visit their loved ones?
Can I say it this way? Because we don't get political on the show at all. I try not to. Putting all of that aside, we see a lot of people without masks at the protest, and I was just telling him before about the restaurant I passed the other day, which I almost I was going out of my mind because people are on top of each other drinking with no. But put all that aside. At this point, do you feel that people can visit their relatives safely and there can be a way to do that?
There's a way to do that. I don't think they should just walk into a nursing home. We have rapid testing. We have PPE. We take their temperature when they come in. They have to take a survey. I don't think they should have a party in their room, but by all means, they should go visit their loved ones, because what I am seeing right now is so much depression. People are losing weight. Why? Because they're not eating. Their family's not there. They feel lost. Their family's not bringing them food. The family's not feeding them. They are lost and they are sad. And when you lose weight and you lose hydration, your skin breaks down. Your muscle mass gets lost. You start to get an infection. All this is happening, I believe, because they don't have their loved ones coming to visit them. They have said to me, patients with dementia who have said to me, not really full dementia, but on their way, they'll say to me, does my daughter not love me anymore? Why doesn't my daughter visit me? And you can't explain what's going on to them because they can't comprehend it. But all they know is that they're alone. I don't know if any of us can.
Eric, you want to ask Danielle a question?
No, I'm enjoying what she's talking about because it's stuff that we don't think about. I mean, I've been, my topics are random and weird, and I try not to make them political. But I think these people need to be able to see their families. 9 weeks is a long time.
It's time. It's just time.
Well, like I said, with our situation, oh my God, what happened to me the other day? Now, she's not in the corner room. She's in the room next to it. So the first time we went there, my cousin, I don't know how he made a mistake. It's his mother. We're banging on the window in the wrong person's room. All right. Because nobody's coming out to help us. So we're trying to find my aunt. All right. So we find it through the glass. She's having a hard time understanding all this. She's saying, I can't wait to get out. We'll do Christmas all over again. And, it wasn't Christmas. But she's a sweetheart, my aunt. Oh, my God. If I show you the pictures of her smile in this place. But my dad's 87. He is standing on a stool. Thank God she's on the first floor. Because he used to visit her she looked forward to his visits. So now I got to bring him. He's standing on a stool. So I drop him off in the front of the building the other day. And I go, Dad, stay right here. I'm going to park. I park the car. I pay for the ticket. Forest Hills, Yellowstone Boulevard, if you're familiar, very busy. I turn around. He's a half a block away in the middle of the street on the yellow line. Cars going like this. He had a moment. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm standing there I'm watching. I'm going, my dad's going to get hit by a car. I'm going to watch this whole thing.
Right.
So I dragged him. I go, what are you doing? So it's affecting him too, this whole thing. He was up in the woods at my sister's, thank God. But my sister works full time. He was in the house by himself a lot. And he's staying here a few days a week. So they're going through a hard time. And
it's really hard. It's time.
They're lucky that they have somebody like you at least. And my buddy Pat Marone, who's a chef in an assistant kitchen.
Amazing chef.
They're lucky to have people like you with a smile on your face who lift them up. You really enjoy what you do. You have a tough job, and you do it. You're a hero. You're a hero.
Thank you. I will say though that a lot of us break down a lot. We come home and we cry, and we're, we have anxiety, and it's really hard because it's really difficult to see them every day get weaker and weaker when you know that really all they need is some love.
You know how upset you get is that you come on camera in your pajamas and don't even realize it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea.
Danielle came on the bush the other day. She goes, "Can I come out of my pajamas?" And we said no, but we didn't even know you were in your pajamas. I was just kidding. No, I couldn't tell. Danielle, we have a comment. I want you to hang on. Is Megan here?
Yes, she's in the waiting room.
All right, let's bring Megan in. Danielle, hang out.
Okay.
We'll bring Megan in. Megan Friend, she is a comic friend of mine. And Megan's primary job, to put the pressure on her, is to give us a laugh tonight. To close the show with a yuck. This is a lot of pressure on a young comic. I really shouldn't do this to her. But we're going to bring her on. We see her name. It's a drum roll.
Yep,
we should have brought her in sooner so we didn't have this delay. Because we know, look, she's in her room in her pajamas. What is it with you guys? Oh, there she is. Hello, Megan. You look like you're in hiding, Megan. Megan, you're coming in broken up. You are still, and we can't hear you, which could be a laugh.
Give her a second.
We may have to ask Eric to end with the shtick.
I don't have any yucks.
No shtick. Well, I know Danielle does. Danielle always has some fun stuff.
It wasn't going to be fun. I was going to go off on, nursing home stuff again.
I think you really covered it well without, like too much, but just enough where we know you're passionate about what you do, and we appreciate you. I know Eric does, right?
Thank you.
Megan, you there? I know she's got to get new internet, I think, Bobby. What do you think?
I think she's froze up.
You think the picture's froze, or do you think Megan just froze?
I think Megan.
It looks like her captors have turned off her Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yes, she was coming in.
She's frozen.
About to give the ransom, and she froze.
Proof of life. That's what.
Yeah, Megan was a volunteer EMT, and she's a comic, and she also works with children in a library, I think. Very funny gal. And this is called Fill the Time Until So, Danielle, until Megan comes through, let me ask you one more question.
Please.
Do you do any stand-up comedy in your facility?
Yes. I believe his name is Lee.
Les or Lee?
Oh, maybe Les. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, Les.
Les. Yes, you know him really well.
I
think his name is Lee. Les Deegan comes into your facility? Les Deegan?
Right. Wait.
Are you talking about Les Deegan?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. He does come into my facility.
He sings.
I don't know. He comes in on Sundays. I'm not there on Sundays.
Oh, you're not there. Okay. All right, Les, if you're watching, because I know you were supposed to watch tonight. I apologize for Danielle.
Why do people always apologize for me?
Les goes to entertain the elderly. He has a good heart. And Danielle goes, I think it's Lee. I think his name is Joe. He's Italian. No, he's Jewish. What is he? I don't know. Les is a gem. What do they call it when they say Jewish, Eric? A mensch? Right, a mensch? What a good guy. Now Danielle is walking through a house. Where are you?
Oh my God, that's so... Well, no, someone's at my door.
We're not done. She's like leaving. She's done. Megan, we're waiting for Megan. We need to fill time, and Danielle's going to the ladies' room now or something. Going to grab something out of the refrigerator. Now she's frozen. Bobby, I guess...
Because it's always the woman.
No, I didn't say that. Bobby said that.
I said it.
Eric didn't say it. Eric. There she is. Where are you now? Outside the house?
Outside now.
Yeah, someone said they were here, but they're not here.
You know what's funny? That's not her house. she walked into someone's home, but that was nicer than hers. Because we think now she has a nice home. She probably lives in like a shack or something, but we think she has a nice house now. So, all right, Danielle, you were awesome. Eric, you were awesome.
Love you guys. Bobby, I love you too.
Okay, love you too.
Very good with if you need any help with technology, contact Danielle. She's very good with it. Or you can contact her good friend Lee Les.
All right, wise guy. I love you,
Her
Don.
good friend that she loves. Goodbye, Danielle. We'll see you next week on Laughter Saves Lives. We have 2 school teachers coming on, my cousin and Terry DeVito, to talk about what's going on in the schools and how they're dealing with all of this at this point. And we have another guest to be announced. Eric, I hope I didn't talk too much, bro.
John, we have those hazmat video pictures. Do you want to show them quick?
Quick.
Okay.
So let me set it up, Bobby. Today we had hazmat. Yesterday we had a hazmat breakfast. All the retired FDNY hazmat guys meet at a diner. All the diners are closed. We decided to meet at the beach, Field 6. They take the picture of everybody every week when I'm in the men's room this time. So can you show the first one, Bobby?
Gotcha. It's up.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep, it's up, and the second one's
Tony
ready.
Musafidi takes the picture and he sends it out to everybody. And I'm like, bro, I'm not in the friggin' picture. I was in the men's room. You couldn't have waited? So he sends a second email and he doctored the picture up to make it look like I was in it. Tell me if you can see which one is he doctored here.
Yep.
Could you show them both, Bob?
Yeah, it's up. It's up. I think everybody gets the point.
Oh, I can't see it, but you can see it.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 12 of you.
There's
11 and a picture. That's a lot of you.
So funny to the viewers, but Eric and I can't see it. So he put my face on
I love
everybody.
the photo.
Yeah, it'll be funny. Eric, listen. Thank you for having. Oh, and now Megan Chanel. We're gonna have to have Megan back next week, huh, Bob?
Oh God.
Do we have time?
No,
for Megan?
that's Megan. Go ahead. Let her on. Let her on. Let's let her on.
Yeah. All right, she's connecting to audio. She has a very startled look on her face, though. Megan?
Yeah.
There you are. We've been waiting for you. We've been filling in. You looked like you were being held captive.
I am. Help.
Look at that. Very dramatic. I am help. Megan, you have only a few seconds. We were depending on you to close the show with a yuck. Do you have something for us?
So just a few seconds?
Yeah. How much time we have, Bob?
You can take a couple minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Go.
A minute 50 seconds.
A minute 50 seconds. Okay. This is weird. I've never done a Zoom show, so I don't know what to do. Like I just talk, like pretend.
Yes, you can. Yes, talk like we're not here. Talk like you're by yourself. You're talking to an audience.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, this quarantine shit, it's crazy. I miss going out. I miss seeing people. The last time I actually went out with my friends, we went to a strip club, which was that was a weird experience. And like I always thought like a male strip club would be like a feminist activity, you know, because like you're switching up roles, like we get to objectify them for once. But I gotta say, you guys, paying $40 for a cowboy named Tyler to dry hump me in my face, it didn't feel like something that Susan B. Anthony fought for, you know? It didn't feel super empowering. I think they should open up a strip club that caters to like what women really want, you know? Something like you pay like a flat rate of like $20 or something, and then the guy gets naked, right?
Right.
And for an entire hour, you get to tell him about how much you hate your best friend Rebecca. No, it was like weird because the dudes like didn't even get all the way naked. So I was like, oh, I thought that was kind of the point, right? Like they just wore these like thong things, like, oh, so I just paid to see male ass, like cool, I guess. Like if you're into that kind of thing, which I'm personally like not. I don't find the male ass to be like super aesthetically pleasing, you know.
I haven't seen Eric's.
Eric, let me see.
It's not that kind of show, Eric. Eric, don't.
Eric, let's.
Hey.
No, but yeah, like I get like why men want to look at our ass, right? Because like our ass is like what surrounds their target, you know. But like there's no reason I'd be looking at a man's ass in nature and shit like that. Like I was at a bank with a friend of mine once, and we were like standing behind this guy at the ATM, and she was like, "Hey Megan, check out that guy's ass. He has such a nice ass." I was like, "Why are you looking at his ass, weirdo? Like, why is that where your eyes go right now? Like his PIN number's right there." So is that it? Should I do anything else?
Give us one more big close.
A big close.
Or medium close.
Okay. I'll give you a mediocre close. So there was this guy Al I went to high school with. He was like wait, can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. My phone went black for a second.
Yes, so did I.
So I went to high school with this kid Al, and he had a crush on me, but he was like super, super fucking weird. Like he'd be like, "Oh, I had a dream about you last night, Megan." I'd be like, "Oh shit, was I alive in it?" But one time at lunch, he asked me something super weird. He asked me to take off my shoe and then put my foot and under the table to like massage his crotch with my foot. And I was like, "What the fuck? No, obviously." But then recently, I saw through social media that Al just graduated school to become a gynecologist. So that was some super startling news, right? Like,
Yeah.
I came this close to marrying a doctor.
Well, Megan, thank you for hanging in there. We'll have you back.
Okay.
Take more time, maybe even to be a guest one day. But it's important that we close the show with a little yuck sometimes with all we're going through. So thank you for hanging in this.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. So that was Megan Friend using the F-bomb twice, which is I forgot to tell her not to drop the F-bomb 3 times, and she didn't. It was only twice. So that was good. That was good that she stayed within the parameters. Bobby, thank you for doing a great job running the show tonight.
You got it, John.
And we'll be back next week. Eric, I'll see you soon. Watch Eric Mitchell on To The Point. Where is that? Can be seen, Eric?
On YouTube and Facebook, To The Point with Eric Mitchell. Haha, that's me.
Tune in. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm going to go say hello to my Greek neighbors right now.